I've been going to Exponential for 4 or 5 years, and when I heard of this year's theme coming up in 2018 of Hero Maker, I immediately started to ask, like, who are the hero makers in my life? But then just after that, I kind of thought, well, I'm not a hero. I don't think of myself as a hero. When I think about the work that I do and the way that I do it, I have a lot more questions like how in the world did a guy like me get to be able to start a church and pastor a church? How did I end up in a position that I get to kind of have influence and speak into people's lives on a regular basis, that I'm entrusted with the opportunity and responsibility of guarding doctrine and guarding the flock? I mean, that's where I'm at, but I'm astounded that a guy like me can end up doing that. When I think about how this all happened, it makes me think of one of my hero makers. I've been impacted by some amazing people in my life and influenced by them, but when I think about heroes, we all love a good hero story, and there's always a hero in the middle of it, but there's also something that kind of it's the genesis story of that hero, the beginning of that hero. And one thing that's interesting is I've noticed is that heroes don't make themselves. They're created somehow, whether it's gamma rays or some kind of magical stone or a celestial event or a radioactive spider, who knows? But they're made. Heroes are made, and I'm always, people ask me how did I end up doing what I'm doing, and it's just it's a story of just kind of, it's an unlikely story for me. But I think of a guy that helped shape me and call me out to something that I didn't see in myself. And think about how heroes are made in the context of what we're talking about. It is that person that sees something, that speaks it into you. And I remember when I was 19, I felt this stirring in me, and I was actually running from God. It was actually this compelling, this conviction to full-time ministry. And I was running. I ignored it. I denied it. I ran for months, so 6 months, and I was miserable. And Ronnie Brassfield, just a godly man, a simple man, chicken farmer, just simple man, but loved people, loved Jesus, and spoke truth in life into people. And he pulled me aside one night, and he said, he goes, I got to tell you, I only said this to one other person in my life. He says, but I feel like you're called into ministry and you have a gift of shepherding. I deflected, but that all of a sudden turned something in my heart. A month later, I surrendered my life to this vocational call, this call of ministering to the church and to the world through the church. Still held out that I would never be a head pastor, but that voice always stuck. And through 20 years of ministry, God was working, and that voice always stuck. And I ended up serving in different areas of ministry in the church, and then in 2011 felt called out to plant a church and pastor. And so Ronnie Brassfield is a guy that comes to mind as a hero maker for me, and I count it a privilege that in some way, shape, or form I could speak truth into someone's life and build someone up, that they would be a leader for the kingdom of God. If we think about the greatest call in our lives is and the greatest opportunities to be able to turn to someone and say, follow me as I follow Christ. When we think about what it is to be in a multiplying movement of making disciples who make disciples, there's no better way than that. And so I'm excited about this year's theme, Hero Maker at Exponential. Would encourage you to go. You can go to exponential.org and register. I would encourage you to register now while prices are low, and definitely before the conference sells out. But we should all be hero makers for the glory of God. So hope to see you there. Bye.